What's going on today? Today we're going to work through our hip mobility series. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to start in our 90-90 position. We've got the front knee coming out from the front of the hip, side knee coming out from the back, back knee coming out from the side of the hip here, and a nice 90-degree angle at both knees. The first thing that we're going to work through is our 90-90 folds. So we want to go ahead and push that front knee down into the ground, about 70%, 75%, holding some tension in there. And then keeping that chest up nice and tall with our free hand kind of propelling us forward. We're going to fold over and back up tall. Again, that knee should stay glued to the ground. It's not coming up or down with us. We're moving around that. We should feel a nice big stretch through our backside hip as we work through this motion for 10 reps. I'm going to work just a couple more here. And I'm going to abbreviate some of these rep ranges, but I want you to make sure that you're working through this 10 times. And then from this same position, before we move on to the other side, we're going to work through our three-way reaches. We're going to go ahead and reach right out over that front shin, back tall, right over the knee, and right over that foot. Just hitting that stretch from all different angles. And again, I'm using that free hand here to help kind of push me over there, get a little bit of a deeper stretch. We're going to work one more time, but again, we're going to go 5 when you do this on your own. Perfect. We'll go ahead and transition to our other side. And let's work through that same exact motion. So we glue that front knee down to the ground about 75%, and we do our 10 folds. Again, no slouching here, chest stays up. We're coming out over that front knee. Feel a nice big stretch there on the backside. And we'll go 1 or 2 more. Perfect. Let's go ahead and let's work into our three-way stretches. Again, 5 reps here to each position as we work through them on your own. Right out over the front of the shin. Right out over that knee, and finishing over the foot. Cool, let's go one more time here. But again, you're gonna go 5. Perfect. And then we're gonna go ahead and transition into our transitions. So from this position, set back up, we're gonna take both hands behind us as we rotate to the other side. Lift that back knee first, trying to create a gap between the knees, opening the hips here. So I lift that back knee, slow rotation around to the other side, all the way over that front knee, and back around. Perfect. Again, working this 5 times each direction. I'm gonna go one more time here, using the hands behind you to help prop tall, no slouching. There we go. Once we finish up our 5 each way, we're gonna go ahead and work right into our adductor rocks here. I like to curl the toes on the back foot for a little bit of an extra stretch there on the fascia and through the foot. And we're gonna extend one leg right out to the side here. So from this position, I always like to glue those toes down, pushing forward. Nice big stretch here through the underside of the leg. Sitting back to that heel for 10 reps. And we're gonna go one more time here before we move on. Perfect. So then from this position, I'm gonna roll to the big toe here, staying up nice and tall. Now what I wanna do is I wanna turn those toes up to the sky. Again, I'm not trying to round the back, I'm trying to keep a nice flat back here as I give a little rotation in the hip. We're gonna work 10 times here. One more time though before we switch sides. Once we finish up our 10 reps through our adductor rocks and rotations, we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. Again, make sure those toes are gripping the ground facing forward. And let's sit that butt back to the heels. Nice big stretch there through the adductors. A little bit of a stretch there through that backside foot. And when we finish up our 10 reps, we'll roll onto that big toe, staying up nice and tall, and turning those toes to the sky. Again, we want to make sure we're avoiding bending the knee here. We're really trying to rotate from that hip. Perfect. And then once we finish up with our 10, we're going to go ahead and come up onto one knee. We're going to bring that leg out in front. We can also grab something for a little bit of support. So if you find that the balance is the issue here, I don't want you focusing on that. I want you focusing on being up nice and tall, driving those hips forward, and rotating that front hip still, or that front foot still. So I'm going to let the toes fall out to the sides and big toe in towards midline. Again, just getting a nice little hip rotation here from a different position. Once we finish up with our 10, we'll go ahead and switch sides, same thing. You might find that one side's a little bit easier to balance than the other too. If not, no problem. We'll work our 10 rotations here. Perfect. Once we finish up with those, we're going to go ahead and lay down on our back. So from this position here on our back, I'm going to bring one knee up. I'm going to keep the other knee bent. Both hands behind the knee. I'm going to let the heel fall towards the butt. And then I'm going to extend that foot all the way to the sky. Trying to give a nice little squeeze there in the quad. Nice big stretch through the hamstring and calf. Lower back down with control. And back up. 10 reps here. Once we finish up with our 10, I'm going to drop those hands to the sides. And then I'm going to straighten that leg all the way out and lower back. We'll repeat that for 10 as well. And we'll say one more here. Perfect. Go ahead and switch sides. Same exact thing. Nice big stretch here. Really trying to push that heel to the sky. And when we finish with our 10, drop the hands and 10 straight leg lifts. And we'll say one more. Perfect. So once we finish up with those 10, we're going to finish on out with our world's greatest stretch. And from this position, one knee is going to be down in the ground while the other foot comes out in front. From here, we're going to take our opposite hand. We're going to line it up with that hand and extend our back leg. So that knee comes off the ground, we straighten out. Now our free elbow is going to sink to the ground. We're going to give a nice big rotation to the sky, pushing tall through that bottom hand all the way up. Again, not rushing these. Really taking our time moving, feel that big stretch there. Only 5 reps from this position. And once we finish up with our 5, let's go ahead and transition to the other side. Again, opposite hand in line with the foot, extending the back leg off the ground. Elbow down to the ground, hand to the sky, pushing tall. Working a little bit of everything through here. And one last time. Perfect. And that concludes our hip mobility series.